Chapter 8 Princess Moppet's Room.
And twirl!
Princess Moppet commanded. She was making the fairies learn a dance routine from MeTube.
OK, not bad. Now, let's start at the beginning again.
We really must get down to business, whispered Queen Maeve. Remember our mission. When I count to 3, everyone jump on Moppet's toe. 1, 2, 3, jump!
No, no, no!
Laughed Princess Moppet, looking down at the fairies perched on her foot.
Line up against the wall. Let's start again.
Zarara tried another tactic.
Isn't it so sad when your birthday is over and you have to wait a whole year for your next one?
Today was only my family party, replied Princess Moppet.
I'm having a bouncy castle tomorrow and my friends are coming over, and then my cousins are coming on Sunday, she added.
And then back to school on Monday, Queen Maeve said.
Yes, I'm going to bring a cake to school on Monday, and we're having a pony party in the yard, and everyone is getting a pony ride. And then I'm taking the whole school on a boat trip, and then we're getting a bus to the cinema, and on the way home we're going to Chippy Mac's, she continued, jumping up and down with excitement. Queen Maeve rolled her eyes to the ceiling in despair. Gosh, she really is spoilt, whispered Zarara. There is no way she's going to cry tonight. How about we try funny stories to see if we can make her cry with laughter?
Good thinking, said Queen Maeve. I told you we should have brought an onion. She glanced at King Dagda.
On special occasions, the hares let us ride them around the field, began Zarara. One time it was Gracious's birthday and the March hare came to give us spins. She ran faster and faster in circles, and Gracious got dizzy and fell off straight into a cowpat.
She paused to see the effect.
Ha ha! That's funny!
Princess Moppet fell back on the bed.
Tell me more fairy stories.
Another time, continued Zarara,
Gracious was a bit tired and mixed her colours wrong and painted a brown rainbow. More! More!
Princess Moppet demanded.
No more funny stories about me, thank you, said Gracious. Shall I tell her the one about the Christmas fairy?
Zarara suggested, glancing nervously at King Dagda. King Dagda immediately went into a grump, and a little dark grey cloud appeared over his head. Please don't. Yes, do, said Queen Maeve. This is an emergency.
It is a really funny story, thought Zarara, but we don't usually tell it in front of the king.
Zarara began.
It was late at night in December. Lady Alice, the Christmas fairy, was due to arrive with the Christmas magic. It had just started snowing, which was a sign that she was about to arrive. The Christmas fairy is quite posh, and everyone always makes an effort when she visits. King Dagda had washed all his clothes and hung them above an enormous fire to dry. He was cooking up a feast that included his famous double roast potatoes. He tied on an old flowery apron that used to belong to Queen Maeve and started the washing up. The kitchen was piled high with used pots and pans. There were vegetable peelings everywhere. If he timed it right, the dinner would be cooked and the clothes dried when he had finished clearing up. Then the potatoes caught on fire. He opened the door, whipped them out of the oven and threw them outside. The burning pan landed on a bag of recycling, which burst into flames. The worker mice got a fright and charged out of the door. They circled the fire, trying to snatch bites out of the burning potatoes. King Dagda rushed out and danced around in the gusty snowstorm, throwing buckets of water on the fire, chasing the mice, trying to herd them back into the safety of the kitchen. At that exact moment, the Christmas fairy arrived in an explosion of green and red sparkles, expecting to be met with the usual glass of sparkling elderflower and a tiny cheesy swirl. Instead, she was greeted by the shocking sight of a strange, crazy-looking creature with a large mop of icy tangled hair. It was scantily dressed in a tiny, flowery apron that didn't even cover its snowy white bare bottom. It was doing some sort of evil dance around a blazing fire with some wild mice. She was sure it was a wicked, rude elf doing a curse on King Dagda. She charged after him, firing spells at the evil bottom with her wand. Every time a spell hit its target, King Dagda screeched, leapt high in the air, and ran in faster circles, frightening the Christmas fairy even more. Luckily, Queen Maeve arrived just in time to sort things out and avoid any serious injuries. She was in her finest purple velvet robe and crown for the visit, and was horrified to see King Dagda making a show of himself.
Princess Moppet was in hysterics.
"Again! Again!" she cried.
Zarara was also rolling around on the bed with a fit of giggles. King Dagda's face was red, and the grey cloud above his head was rumbling and thundering.
"Shall I tell you the one about the naughty elf that King Dagda found asleep in his bed after Gracious's party?"
Zarara said when she had caught her breath.
"No!"
shouted Princess Moppet.
"The Christmas fairy! Again! Again!"
On the third time, Princess Moppet was so out of control, laughing and trying to catch her breath, Zarara thought she was going to explode. But then she noticed a tear glistening in the corner of her eye.